Hi everyone, I'm Bethia. I'm here today to explore what happens when fast-growing companies scale without the right systems in place and what it looks like when they get it right. Here at LeftBrain, we work with ambitious startups and scale-ups who are building incredible products, raising investment, and growing fast. But growth without structure leads to chaos. That's why we've brought in Charlie today, our CEO, to talk about how we help clients to lay secure and scalable foundations from day one, and how they can grow with clarity and not feel like they're firefighting all the time. Today, he's going to share what that journey looks like with our clients, the pitfalls that we see, and why structure shouldn't come at the cost of speed. So, Charlie, to kick us off, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. So my name's Charlie Naughton-Rumbo. I'm CEO of LeftBrain, and my background is actually as a security professional. So I'm a chartered security professional, and my first sort of passion in this industry is security architecture. So what I'm working on now, our mission here at LeftBrain is to build brilliant foundations for all of our clients. So that's why I really wanted to talk about this one today.
Great. And what kind of clients would you say tend to come to us here at LeftBrain?
Yeah, so my absolute favorite is when we get a client who comes in the door, they've just had some seed funding and they know they're going to grow. And so they come to us and they say, This is going to kick off. We need to have some strong foundations in place." So that's a place that we get that quite a lot. Another place people do come to us is maybe they've grown organically over some time and they haven't actually got any structure in place. So they come to us with some sort of urgent requirements saying we really need to get these foundations in place. And I actually equally like working with those people as well because I like a bit of drama, and it's nice when you've got to rapidly build a plane as you're going down the runway, as I often say.
So what are we talking about here? What is it exactly that you put in place for our clients?
Yeah, so the first and I would say the most important place is to actually start with a governance framework. So what we don't want to do is we don't just roll out tech without any justification, without any kind of like proper decision making, any justification in policies, and also about linking it to what the business actually wants to get out of it. So the best place to start is to get that foundation, get the roles and responsibilities, link what you're doing with the goals of the business, and from there you've got this kind of combined framework and language where you can really start to make a difference with the initiatives you put in place. So governance first, then we can finally move on to technology and look to build. We like to start out by kind of building a solid backbone, as it were, which we can then increase later on as we go. So the important thing there is that we don't need to start off with all the controls in place of everything, shut down or whatever. We want to really encourage that sort of innovation, freedom, and agility a customer needs at the beginning of their journey. So we look to just get those foundations, just get the right balance, and then we can increase that later.
Great. And from your experience, what happens when those foundations aren't in place?
Or that's when you kind of get the kind of firefighting, and or often we'll get people come to us and they've sort of accrued technical debt, security debt, and they've kind of got this big burden. And normally what happens is someone has come to them and they've said, "Hey, can you fill out this security questionnaire this long, or do you have ISO 27001?" And they say, "No, not no." And then we've got several months before a deal slips away where we've got to get all these foundations in. And that can be quite exciting, but it does require, everyone to be really motivated to really move quickly. But yeah, those are the.
And you know, when you do put the right things in place, nice and early, what does that look like for tech scale ups?
It looks everything's a lot smoother and a lot simpler. So what usually happens is, they get one of these long questionnaires and they just turn to us and say, "Hey, yeah, let's turn that on now," or "Yeah, let's do that initiative we've already talked about." It's kind of like what we like to do is we like to roadmap out far into the future, and we create easy buttons, what we call easy buttons. So it's kind of like this initiative will get you this business outcome, will allow you to achieve that security requirement. When you're ready, just click, hit this button, say yes, and we'll, here we go, we'll be off doing that initiative with this scope of work and all that stuff. So it's simple, it's predictable, it's an easy button, and the kind of ability to roll it out is a lot shorter. So it's not like scramble, restructure the whole technology or governance processes of the business. It's just simply, oh, yeah, let's do that, and it fits into everything that's already been before it.
Amazing. So yeah, the title of our discussion today, scaling, start with clarity, not chaos. Any final thoughts on that?
Yeah, my encouragement really is that it doesn't need to be big, doesn't need to be expensive. We work with a lot of clients where we come along as advisors at the beginning and we just say, okay, you're making this decision. Let's understand what the decision you're making is, and let's just make it in the right direction. Instead of kind of making it in isolation without thinking about the future. So, and then we don't need to, do big expensive tech or turn lots of things on. It's just like, let's lay that foundation so that we can grow into later. And it doesn't need to be a, big investment. It's just about making clever choices really. And that's one of the areas we enjoy the most.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today, Charlie.